Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Keeneland Racecourse here on Sunday. It is the 8th of October, 2023. I'm going to look at the stakes races on the program from Keeneland, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for racecourses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at the stakes action, all conveniently packed in the late pick 3 races 8, 9, and 10. The 8th race from Keeneland, it is the Indian Summer Stakes. It's going for a purse $250,000 race for 2-year-olds here. Field of 10 horses going to the turf course, the 1100-meter journey, or 5.5 furlongs on the Keeneland turf course. I'm going to take the one horse here, Shards, as a top selection. Let's go 1386 in the superfecta. 1386 super, top selection, one horse, Shards. This 2-year-old colt by Pachara here. Kesley Danner trains. Adam Beskitzza gets the mount. Adam Beskitzza is one of the... here in the States, he's been riding absolutely great. Before he came to the States, when he was riding in the UK, he was like 300 for like 3 seasons in a row. He, another rider had potential there, just wasn't getting the mounts. Getting the mounts here at stateside, and he's become a great rider, very underrated. This horse, Shards, most recently ran the 7th of September at Colonial, 5.5 in the main special weight, 59,000, and he won by 5 lengths that day, and he stalked a quick pace that day. They were flying on the front end, but he sat back early. He got to the front end a little bit wide, but he took off clear, 60 cents to the dollar, coming home back with a 70 buyer. I thought that was a very good race. Coming here today, stepping up in class with some decent buyers, having a strong pace in front of him, I think he'd get a good trip to win. You need to be drawn low and have forwardly paced to win here, going 5.5 at Keeneland on this lawn. So I think he fits that. 2 back, he ran on the 5th of August at Colonial, 5.5 in the main special weight, and he finished second by 1/4 lengths that day. He kind of stalked that day. Well, he not kind of. He did stalk that day. He had to lead for a second, and then he just kind of got overtaken off the refreshing. Maybe he needed the race there, but he showed potential there. And then in early June at Gulfstream, 4.5 on the dirt in a main special weight. He finished third by 3 3/4 lengths that day. He showed pace early on, but then just kind of hit the wall. He needed the race for the experience. He's training quite well at turf weight. 3 furlong workout, 35-2. The best workout 3. I'm going to give him a massive shot on the ticket. I think the 3-horse Coase is your second likeliest winner for Wayne Catalano and Jose Lescano. Lescano coming in from New York to ride this horse. One of the most underrated riders, I think, in the country, if not the most underrated. Just, one of my favorite riders on the New York circuit. Him and Kendrick Harmouche. They just ride beautiful races. This horse ran on the 3rd of September at Saratoga. Great ride by Lescano that day. 5.5 in the state-bred main special weight, or restricted main special weight, and he won by 3/4 length. He had a horrible beginning that day, but Lescano didn't panic on him. He settled him well from a tracking trip. He was a little bit wide, but when he had the turn of foot, when the pace kind of melted down, he really took off clear. It wasn't the strongest race number-wise back, 58, but since the last race, he's been training like an express-trained quarter horse. Half-mile drill a week after the race in 48-4, half-mile 48-4 again at Churchill, and then last week, 46-4 for a half-mile drill at Churchill, the best of 107. I think he's rearing to go. I think he has some pace. If he gets out of the gate clearly, it might not be stopping. They might not be stopping him at 15-1. I'm going to use him on the ticket. I like him a lot. I definitely use him this pick 3. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Keeneland, it is the Indian Summer. I'm going to take the 1-horse Shards. Give kudos to the 3-horse Coase. 1386 Super. 1-3 in your multi-race. The featured 9th race from Keeneland now. It is the Spinster Stakes. It's a Raid 1 event going for a $600,000 purse. Race fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 7 horses going 1,800 meters or a mile and 1/8 here in the Spinster. I'm going to take the 3-horse Idiomatic as a top selection. 2-3-4-1 in the superfecta for me. 2-3-4-1 super, top selection 2-horse Idiomatic. This 4-year-old flip by Curlin. Brad Cox trains this one. Florent Giroux gets on this one for Judmont. The horse's most recent outing came the personal incident at Saratoga on the slab, mile and 8th, 25th of August, and the horse won by 4 lengths that day. And on the front and all throughout, getting into a good gallop. He kept going. Every time Florent got to use the whip on this horse in the lane, he kind of drifted that day, but the horse really still took off clear. That was a very good, exciting run. She had everything her own way, and she beat a good group of horses home. Secret Oath Nest, a Derby winner, a multiple grade 1, an Oaks winner, a multiple grade 1 winner. Nothing bad about that race. Prior to that, she ran the Delaware Handicap at Delaware, mile 3/16, 8th of July, and she won by a head that day, and she sat back early after not the best beginnings, but she, again, slowly moved her way into it, and then she dueled duel to the wire, finding a good race with Classy Edition. This horse got to the front of her. She ran her heart out that day. If the Delaware Handicap this year was run at the normal amount of quarter trips, she probably would have won by open lengths. But since it was a 16th of a mile less, she only won by whisker. But it was still a very good race there. And then over at Churchill, mile 16th in the Shawnee in early June, winning by 2 1/4 lengths. Another race she had everything on her own way on the front end. She came back with the Caress 102 buyer. That was a very good race. She's run triple-digit buyers as recently in her last three, a 102, 100, and 101 last time out on the personal Ensign. She has a lot of pace here on a speed-favoring track. I give her a lot of chance here to win. Wouldn't surprise me if Nest wins, but, her buyers, just haven't been so, I think Idiomatics just runs these better races as recently, and her buyers have shown it. Nest, she has run triple-digit buyers, but she's only run 2 of them. Most recent one was the Belle Dame nearly a year ago to the day, going a mile and 1/8 at Belmont, where she won by 9 3/4 lengths, and really, took off clear from a tracking trip. Came back to run here in the Breeders' Cup last year, where she just finished 4th by 4 3/4 lengths, and she just as a favorite just never got going. Came back to win the Chuvie and won the personal Ensign. And came back to run in the personal Ensign, where she was just wide and just. I don't think she liked the wet track. She shouldn't see a wet track today. It's not the world's toughest race. I think she could get a good pace to close into it. I'll give her a shot here. She's also trading a little bit better, but Mike Rapoli and Tom Pletcher got beat by Florent Giroux yesterday, and if I'm not mistaken, a Brad Cox horse in the it wasn't the Frizette, it was the Champagne yesterday. It'd be kind of cool again for them to get beat by the same connections, Fearness to Timberlake. It'd be kind of cool if, again, and ironic if Giroux and Cox beats Rapoli and Irad and all them with this one again. But we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a very fun spinster this season. But to recap my selection for the ninth from Keeneland, it is the Grade 1 Spinster. Going to take the 2-horse Idiomatic. Give kudos to the 3-horse Nest. 2, 3, 4, 1 Super. 2, 3 in your multi-race. The 10th race from Keeneland now, it is the Bourbon Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a $350,000 purse. Race for 2-year-olds here. We have a field of, 15 horses entered, only 12 to go, 1,700 meters or mile 16th on the turf course. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the 5-horse Noted. I'm going to go 5, 8, 10, 12 in the superfecta. 5, 8, 10, 12 super. Top selection 5-horse Noted. 2-year-old colt by Cairo Prince. Tom Pletcher trains. Irad Tees Jr. gets on this one for Rapoli Stable. Most recently ran the horse in the dirt at Monmouth, a mile in the sapling, and the horse won by a length that day. He had a stupidly wide trip from a wide poster with that quick run to the first turn, but he never saved ground that day, but he got into a good gallop on the front end from the mid-pack, and then when he had the turn of foot to win late, he took off clear. A 77 buyer career best. That wasn't a bad race at all. Coming back to turf today, where he showed turf form, I'm going to give him another shot here today. Just the way he ran on dirt, it looked like he runs like a turf horse on dirt. He kind of reminds me, I can't think of that horse last year that ran, that Pletcher horse who ran on the Derby Trail. If it was not last year, it was the year before, who was running okay on dirt, but since he came to turf, he's really become a better horse. It's just off the tip of my tongue. Can't remember it right now. I'll remember it after I do this video. But, I think this horse has similar kind of traits with him. Back to the green stuff, I think he'll get a good trip to win. He's also drawn well. Prior to that, he ran the 22nd of July at Saratoga, mile 16th on the inner and a main special weight. He won by a half a length that day, and he was a little bit wide, but he really took off clear from a tracking trip. 75 cents to the dollar. That was a strong run. And then in late June at Belmont on the debut, 5 furlongs on the widener and a main special weight. He finished second by 1.5 lengths that day. He didn't get the best trips out of the gate. He settled well towards the back of the pack. He was gaining late, stupidly wide, but he showed potential after all that horrible stuff in the beginning of the race. But coming here off of the definitely improving with every single race, I'll give him a shot here on the ticket. I think the 8-horse for Grand Motion and Johnny V, Talk could win. Johnny V had a great opening day from Keeneland on Friday. I don't know what he did on Saturday, but it's good for the veteran to find a good day. But most recently, Talk ran the Kitten's Joy Colonial over the mile 16th, where he won by 1/4 lengths that day, and he was a little bit wide late, but he had the turn of foot to win with the 61 buyer. Not the strongest race, but he had a good trip that day. Prior to that, going 5.5 in a Colonial main special weight, he won by half a length. Again, not the best trips early on, but he got the job done as of late. It was a good race, but he definitely needed to prove off that race, which he did next start on the Kitten's Joy. He'll probably improve even more today. Wasn't the fastest race his last two, but I think he should get a good trip from mid-pack. I'll give him a shot here and take it at 15-1, and also give a shot to the 10 horse here, the stablemate to the other Pletcher horse at Nomos. He finished fourth in the With Anticipation, where he just never had the turn of foot late on the soft going, but broke the maiden at Monmouth on fast ground quite nicely by 4 lengths in early August with a nice strong buyer. Getting blinkers on just before the pace, I'll give him a shot here on 15-1 in the slate pick 3. But to recount my selection for the 10th from Keeneland, it is the Bourbon Stakes. Going to take the 5 horse noted 5-8, 10-12 super, 5-8, 10 in the slate pick 3. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.